Hello. In this session, we will go for some graphical cryptography as the title. Actually, this title is not so professional, or rather, you may find out there are no algorithms available over graphical cryptography. But I would like to go for a few of the technologies which can be covered with the graphical cryptography. One is visual cryptography, which is very well known by researcher Shamir itself. You may Google it out and you can find out a lot many literature is available. I would like to give you few points as if those are the hint points for you in what way you can carry out some project related to this or some UG level or even PG level projects related to this. One of the other representation you may have in the code form, which is popular as the barcode. So we may look to one dimensional or even two-dimensional barcodes. The area of interest for me actually is cellular automata. This is having a potential application in the field, and in what way we can use this. I'll just give you some of the idea of this again here. Some of the keys are very important in your cryptographic applications. So if keys are made somewhat, say with high potential, then definitely those keys will be able to go for the success of your cryptographic application. So I would like to go for some of the patterns, in what way those patterns can be treated as if these are the keys. We will look here in a particular session. So starting with the visual cryptography, you can say that this visual cryptography allows information, whichever is your information, maybe pictures, text or even some graphic is there, to be encrypted into the shares, and those shares if are overlapped, then you can retrieve back the original information. So you can find out it's a two-step process. Say whatever is your data, say Wikipedia is again there. If this is divided into two different shares, so individual share is looking like as if it is nonsense information. That means it is a noise like information. So once those are overlapped in a correct way, then you can retrieve back the information as it is. So these two shares are demonstrated here, and that will give you some of the idea. For example, I have done one of the simple project. This is the logo of my institute, Walchand College, and this is the logo of Tata Motors. You can observe this anywhere over the net. So this particular logo is divided into two shares itself. So individual share is looking like a noise, and once this share is overlapped, then only you are able to retrieve the original image back. That means you can say that only at that time, after overlapping, this is considered as if authentic, and then you can utilize this. So I would like to give you one hint or one idea that this particular share or this particular logo, once it is divided into the share, the individual share can be treated as the key, or rather it's a sub key. So if the sub key is there, one key can be handed over to one client, the other key can be handed over to the other client, and so that when both the parties, both the clients are overlapping this, that means equally agreeing upon this one, then only we can say that there is a satisfaction story, and so that we can proceed further. So we need to have certain applications with this one, which can just consider about the credential distribution. So what exactly is the meaning of the credential distribution? I would like to give a couple of projects for you. For example, in a bank, there are bank holders, and let the bank holders are having some joint account. So once the joint account is there, we need to have a permission of the both of the account holders, so that the further transaction of the bank can be carried out. So in that case, if both the account holders will have a separate key, and if those both key are matching because of the some of the other mean, then definitely we can proceed. Or otherwise we may have some another application. For example, you may consider that there is a lab. the lab is a computer lab, and we need to assign certain roles to assign the computer lab. So in that computer lab, possibly some people may work as if these are the administrator, or some people are just the entertainers who can utilize the lab. So if we allow certain different levels of credentials to every individual, and then possibly instead of having 2 shares of the key, if you have a multiple shares, for example, you may have the 4 shares, or you may have 8 shares, or if you are working with some digital area, then possibly 2 raised to something, or 8 raised to in the multiples of the 8, if you create certain shares, and if you overlap the shares with you, and obviously after overlapping, the ideal situation is that you can retrieve back the original message as it is, the original content as it is. But considering some lossy say pattern, if we allow certain say specific level of the retrieval back of your information, then we can say that if the retrieval is say 80% to 100%, then I'll give the highest permission to the person. If the retrieval is from 60% to 80%, then possibly I'll give you the second level of the say credential to the person, and in that way I can assign multiple levels of the credentials for every individual, and accordingly I can utilize the k shares out of n shares, or k by n theory of your shares can be given for the application of the same. And this is actually is giving you a number of applications in your particular theoretical aspect, what you are saying. Now I would like to go for the another idea, barcode. We are using the one-dimensional barcode, and where the widths and the spacing in between the parallel lines is very important. So just giving you the idea in a theoretical level, I would like to give you one example of the barcode. Now you are familiar with the barcode. This is the black and white code, and you may say that there is some spacing, and if you scan over this one, or even if you take the image of this, it will say that it is having some say compartments, and many of the times actually there are different types of the barcodes. You may find out that is 4 types are listed down here. Standard is there, or weighted atom is there, or some pharmaceutical applications are there, or even some coupons are there. So you may say that you are having here some center guard, and the left portion always gives you some manufacturer's code, and the right portion gives you the product code. So if you give some labeling for this one, and if this width is considered or is converted back to some 8 digit, or some digit of your numbers, some parities can be checked out, or some bits can be reserved for the error checks. So you may find out that every code is starting with 1, that is begins with 0 and ends with 1 for this left hand side, and on the right hand side every code is say beginning by 1 and ending by 0. So some or other way you are having some inferring of some information out of this graphic, and that information will be treated as if it is the information for the further check, maybe for the parity check, maybe for the authentication check. And this is all about what we are considering for your say barcodes. Those barcodes actually are useful for less amount of the data for their utilization purpose, and it can hide data only in the horizontal direction. That means the width is very important. So in that way, these barcodes, if are extended further, we may say that there are 2-dimensional codes also. This is another example of your barcode, where you can have the say weightage for the individual place, that is the position if you are considering. So it is very similar to your substitution ciphers. This is the application of your substitution cipher. The substitution is only in your form of your barcode itself, and those substitutions are multiplied with some values. So we can say that these are the weighted bars, and these weighted bars you can just have the function over this one. The function may be multiplication, summation, or in that way the positional values can be utilized here. So accordingly you can have certain methodology for the calculation of the values out of this particular barcode. So I was talking about the 2-dimensional barcode, or you can say that there are various 2-dimensional barcodes. One of the popular barcode, you can say that it is the QR code, which is the quick response code. So what happens in the QR code, that you may say that there are certain alignment positions. So very beauty of this QR code is that in whichever is the direction, if you try to swap your code, then it will automatically will read the correct data or the correct signal. So I would like to give you one idea here. For example, my scanning pattern may be A direction, or the scanning pattern may be of B direction, or even the scanning pattern is of your C direction. So if A is the direction for the scanning, what will happen? So I'll just check that, okay, you are having, we can have certain nomenclature, maybe the dark value and the white value are there. So it is starting from the white value, so I'll say that it is a high value, then it is entering into the dark value, some strip is there. So you can say that some black value is going with the 0 with duration 1. Then again it is the high value, that is 1 is there, so you can find out 1 is there, and then 3 blacks are there, considering the width of this one. So you can say that 3 times it is going for the 0 0 as the value. So the signal, what you can observe, because of the scanning in the direction A, you can find out as the 1 0 1, 3 times 0 1 0, and so on. So even if you scan from the B direction, from this to this, you may find out the same pattern, the similar pattern of your signal is observed, because you are starting from the high, then low, then high, and accordingly the signal is found. So if you go for the having the scanning of your signal from C direction, say diagonal is there, actually the alignment or the width is slightly different. But if you say that this high content is given you as the 1, then you are having the low as the say 0 here, you may find that the width of this one and this one, or rather this 0 and this 0, is slightly different. But whatever the signal you are observing, that signal is having the same pattern. Only the difference is there with the frequency of your signal itself. So finding out the digitization of your signal 1010, you may find out what exactly is the scanning of your particular code, and then you can say convert it back into data itself. So that is actually the idea or the working principle of your QR code. In your QR code, you may have certain mask also. So whichever information is of no use, that information you can keep with the mask, and the remaining information you can take it out as the filter itself. Whatever is the scan pattern you will have, actually the shares are not shown, but you can just divide those into the shares as well. And whatever the discussion we had earlier for the visual cryptography, that share cryptography can be combined together with this share also, and you may continue further, you may proceed further with some of the applications. Actually, I would like to again mention one of the idea of the steganography. So steganography is the idea which hides information into the other carrier signal. So if this is treated as one of the carrier signal, then there is a great scope for us to hide something into that QR code, because QR code is having very high capacity to store the data. You may again check it out that what is the amount of the data it can store, and it is actually interesting that you can have number of applications which can be utilized with your QR code itself. And that's why I can say that this is one of the application of your graphical cryptography. You may find out there are certain, say, you can download and you can just check it out. You can just create your visiting card, or you can store your SMS number, or even if you can go for the storing of your, say, mobile number, or even some URL. So this is one of the example of one of my PG student where he has created his visiting card. So accordingly you can go, and many of the times you find that there are number of applications right now which are going with the QR code. So you can just integrate your QR code into some your cryptographic applications, so that you can enhance the say capability of those QR code for the technical purposes itself. Now the next one what I would like to go for is the cellular automata. Cellular automata is interesting for me because it is discrete in time and space both. So what I would like to say that if any code is generated and if that code is passed from one position to the other position, that means across this space the code is changing itself, or even some time interval pattern if it is given, then after some time duration the code is changed. For example, I'll say this is again one dimensional, you may have some two dimensional QR code also. So in that you may have some surrounding pixels, or the values of those surrounding pixels are taken together, and if any I and j location at t or t plus 1th location is considered, then at the -1 position it is grouped together. Suppose this is one of the cell, so you may have here the 4 connectedness, or you may have some 8 connectedness for your neighbors, and depending on the situation of your neighbor, the position and the value of your current cell will be dependent, and that's why it is spatially. Space is very important factor for this one. So spatially it is connected, and it is getting propagated further in that way. So accordingly I would like to say that if any cell I is there, and if any radius for the movement is considered, then it will consist of twice of r plus 1 cells. That means it is having some 8 connectedness for this one, and those changes can be carried out in a parallel way. So in any of the parallel application also, even though the cellular automata is moving in a discrete way and in a sequential way, you need to have certain parallel application of this one, because it can grow with any of the direction. And whatever is the changing pattern of this, that changing pattern you may call upon that this is the transition rule, and that transition rule is totally dependent on the neighbors of the cell. So how it will work? So as I said that it is discrete in time and space. So temporal and spatial domain discreteness is there. So I am using some of the rule here. For example, 3 white pixels are there. Pixels, why I am showing the pixels? Because pictorial view is always good one. So if these 3 are coming, then obviously the next is coming as the white. Or if one black is there, 2 whites are there, then it is coming as the white. So some rule is given, and this is the codebook rule. With this codebook rule, it is known as the 110 rule, or the rule 5 is there. So suppose these are the elements, and after the time interval 1, the pixel can be moved, or it automatically change to this one. After time interval 2, it will automatically change to this one. So I would like to say that this is the growth direction of the CA itself, and how it is growing. If you move back again, it is giving you the same. So there are 2 approaches. I would like to say that it is going to historic, that is that it will not use any of the memory, or it is that is a historic and a historic. In the historic case, it is using some memory, and if some memory is assigned to this one, definitely it will go for some reversible automata, and that reversible automata will have its own applications in a way. Now I will try to explain CA with one of the application. Say this is the application of a tumor cell in the brain. So I would like to go for check of the tumor cell, and I want to have the growth pattern of the tumor itself. I may design my own model for the growth itself, or I may suggest some of the medicines for this one, and I would like to check that whether the medicines are decreasing the growth pattern, or some time reduction is there for the growth itself. So whether my medicines are useful or not useful. For example, for some specific time, and if the time is considered across say days with the particular graphs, some of the results are there. So number of affected cells are there. Then I would like to go for some second time stamp, and the growth is observed. So as for the third time stamp, the growth is observed, and so as I can understand, or any doctor can understand what exactly is the growth pattern of the particular cell itself. And then if any medicine is given, whether this particular growth is made limited, or some pause is there, or whatever. So accordingly some observations can be carried out with certain CA application. There is another application that, okay, I would like to have, this is the example of one hall or the classroom what I am using at my department, and there is a table, so there is once a desk, and 2 cupboards are there, and this is the arrangement of the student chairs, or the whatever these are arranged in a class. So I just wanted to check that there is one door and there is another door, and I would like to check that, okay, if any emergency happens in a class, in what way, if I ask students to leave the class, or make or make the classroom empty, then what is the speed of the emptiness of the particular class, what should be the dimension or what should be the arrangement of the chairs I would like to go for. So this particular idea gives or can be given by the cellular automata arrangement. I had here certain observation with different patterns and different populations of the students in a class, and what is the exit time for the every individual. Say there is some fire capture in a class itself and I want to make the room vacant, so which will be the feasible solution in an architecture point of view I can observe here. Or if there is another option that okay, there is some corridor and in a corridor students are moving, so if any crowd is there, so if any social distancing is to be carried out in this particular corridor or in this particular pathway, then what exactly is the constraint or how much is the time required to make a path clear, or in that way I can have numerous applications with the usage of the cellular automata. So you may think upon over this and you can have your own application or you may have your own project itself. There is one idea is that okay, I have defined or I have described that I may have here 1010, or this is actually the gray pattern, and this gray pattern is increasing here, and at the reverse side I try to observe the same pattern, it is retrieved back again for the particular element. So I can have here the cryptographic change, or I may have some hash values for this one. When I say hash, I mean to say that there is no reverse or the retrieval of this one, only it is flowing down in a one direction itself. And I would like to go for another example. Suppose I have one password, let the password is the Walchen. So I tried to convert this password into the 56 bits. Why 56 bits? Because I wanted to communicate this with for the DES algorithm, and which is having the key size as the 56 bit. So I used here the rule 4, rule 5, which are the standard rules of the cellular automata. Not necessary that whichever are these standard rules, I may design my own rule itself. So I can say that it is some password is given, and I wanted to keep a track of the utilization of the particular computers in the specific labs, and where those labs are arranged in a sequential manner. So I can say that there is the arrangement of the first lab and there is the arrangement of the second lab. So if the Walchen is one of the password given, say for the first lab it is having some password, and once it moves down to the second lab, then the password automatically changes. For the third lab, the password automatically changes what we have given. So this can be changed from the one lab to other lab, or one place to other place, or from one student to other student, and wherever you may say that there are certain problems occurring. For example, I'll say that there is some spoofing attack and I don't know what exactly is the where exactly it is carried out. So I may find out the location here where exactly the change is observed, and that the location can be found with the disturbance of my CA pattern, and that disturbance can be taken for my further forensic analysis, that is actually a digital forensic analysis, and accordingly I may utilize this one. Actually this can be having a further application. Say there is a scenario of the electronic voting, and if the central voting center is there and across the different voting centers, so that is the geographically apart, if the voting centers are arranged, and if you are having some central watch over this one by distribution of a key there, and if any malfunction occurs at the different or the distant voting center, then you may find it out at which voting center actually the problem occurs, and you can have a further investigation for this particular voting center. There is no need to have a physical administration over that local voting center. You may control from the central itself. So you can design so many applications out of this one. I said that I made a comment that okay, whatever the scan patterns already are available, actually with cellular automata there are 400 plus scan patterns available, but you can design your own scan pattern, and it itself is allowing you to design your own key. Because repeatedly I am making the comment that whatever is the cryptographic function you are using, the cryptographic essence or the success lies with the key design and the key handling itself. So you can have the different scan patterns, that is if the rows and the columns are there for your pixels. So how your pixels are carried out, not necessarily always from the left to the right and top to the bottom, which is the raster scan you are following. You may have different scan for the picking of the elements, and that different scan itself may be your pattern, and that pattern can be treated as the one of the key. How? I'll show you. Suppose we are having some basic scan patterns, and you may have certain transformations over the scan patterns. So what exactly this transformation? That means you may have certain permutations, or even if you can use some affine transformations over this particular scan. So what is the affine transformation? We may have a different look over this one, and you may set a rule, and those rules can be utilized in a recursive manner, and actually you can utilize those for the implementation. For example, whatever are these scans, I may have a say categorization of those scans into different classes. Let class B is there, class Z is there, class X is there. So how these are scanned, maybe through a clockwise section, maybe counterclockwise section, or whatever, if maybe the directly cross elements are carried out. So some partitions you may have, and those partitions you can set your language, and that language will give you some of the rules in what way you can expand starting from the starting rule itself. I may say that this is the starting parameter or the starting rule, and you may have some of the say patterns or the region gathering, and accordingly you can have your further rules. So instead of going into the detail, I would like to say that you may have certain nomenclature for those as the 1010 nomenclature, and as if those sections are retrieved or you have certain assignment, you can just arrange those in a sequence, and so that you can form your key, or you may form your particular group itself. For example, this is the image. I tried to divide this into the 4 different components, and those 4 different components can be treated as if this is the quad tree, and this quad tree can be, you may have a listing of the tree itself, and accordingly you may write down the image itself. A simple example I would like to share with you. For example, I have a scan pattern here. Let the scan pattern is named as the S5. Let this is the scan pattern. So the image itself, this is the popular image of Lena. That Lena is scrambled down here, and you may say that okay, from this particular image it is very difficult that the images of Lena. So this is actually the entire shuffling you carried out because of this particular scan pattern. So this is one of the application of your permutation, what you will say, and this is the pictorial observation of your say permutation, and after say rearranging it back, you can say that the original image or the decrypted image you can retrieve it back. There is another application with the raster C2 scan. Okay, these are the simple scan what I have shown, but you can just go for combining those into certain complicated one. So this can give you some key, and this key you need to remember, or rather this key can be shared from the source to the destination. And even if it is the symmetric key encryption, the key what you are using here, this is having a very small size. Ultimately you can go for the size of the 128 bits or even 160 bits, which is proved one as the size for your key for some specific security requirement. So such type of the say idea gives you some lossless result, because you are just shuffling down the elements. You are not losing any of the elements from the original one. You can use this for the symmetric, but of course with some other combinations you can use this for the asymmetric also. Already I mentioned that it's a permutation, and you can have a very good number of keys. That means you can have a very large key space. Of course, how much is the effort you are taking for the design of the key, you can say, and totally it is the key dependent. You just need to manage the key, and accordingly you may have the work for this one. So I would like to suggest you that okay, even though some key technologies are there, you can develop your own applications, and you can make some interactive model for your particular vocabulary, and in any of the area you can have such applications, and you can develop your own algorithm based on the classical algorithms or with some modern algorithms, and you can slightly modify those so that no opponent is able to break it down. Thank you.